Have you ever bought fresh berries or leafy greens only to watch them go bad in a few days, even though they were in the fridge the whole time? Most people assume that's just normal, but it's not. The truth is, conventional refrigerators are actually working against freshness in many key ways. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why sub zero refrigeration keeps food fresh significantly longer. And it all comes down to real science and engineering, not just marketing. By the end of this video, you'll understand the two major technologies that make the biggest difference. Let's start simple. Here's what happens in a typical refrigerator and the problem they have. Most household fridges use a single compressor system. That means one cooling system has to serve as both the refrigerator and the freezer. When the freezer kicks on, it sends very cold, dry air into the refrigerator section. This dry air pulls moisture out from your fruits, vegetables, causing them to wilt and spoil faster. At the same time, because the air is shared between both compartments, odors transfer easily, and that leftover fish or onion can affect the taste of your milk and butter. On top of that, every time you open the door, the temperature inside rises significantly, and it takes a while to recover. All of this adds up to food that doesn't last as long as it should. Now let's talk about dual refrigeration, the biggest advantage. This is where Sub-Zero does something fundamentally different. They pioneered what's called a dual refrigeration system. Instead of one compressor doing all the work, they use two completely separate compressors and evaporators. One is dedicated to the refrigerator section and one is dedicated to the freezer. And this is why it matters. The refrigerator section stays cool but moist. The higher humidity environment is exactly what fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens need to stay crisp and fresh longer. The freezer stays cold and dry, which prevents frost buildup and freezer burn on your meat and frozen items. Because of this dual refrigeration, fruits and vegetables, proteins, and dairies will stay fresher for longer in their own cool, moist environment. You won't have freezer burn because the frozen foods are better preserved in their own separate frigid and dry environment. And there will be no crossover of food, odors, or tastes. Your ice cream is never going to taste like last night's leftover salmon. And most of all, we want to avoid food waste. Did you know that the average American family throws away over 103 pounds of food per year? That's $50 a week and almost $3,000 per year. Don't let that be you. The next major technology is a NASA-inspired air purification system. Many fruits and vegetables naturally release a gas called ethylene as they ripen. This gas is a ripening signal that tells the other produce around it to ripen and eventually spoil faster. In a normal refrigerator, the ethylene gas just hangs around, speeding up the spoilage of everything around it. Sub-Zero's air purification system, which was inspired technology originally developed by NASA, actively scrubs the air inside of the refrigerator. It removes the ethylene gas, along with mold, spores, bacteria, and odors, and it does this roughly every 20 minutes. The result? Your berries, avocados, and leafy greens stay fresh noticeably longer because the ripening gas is being constantly filtered out. On top of the dual refrigeration and air purification, there are a few other things working in Sub-Zero's favor, such as extremely precise temperature control, it's usually within 1 degree of set point, better insulation and build quality, which we'll talk about here in a second, which means less temperature fluctuation every time you open the door, and of course high humidity crisper drawers that are specifically designed to maintain the right moisture levels for produce. And before we finish here, you know that you can buy with confidence with Sub-Zero. The greatest value is that Sub-Zero products are designed, engineered, built, and tested to last over 20 years. From their Scott machine that creates the cabinet by bending galvanized stainless steel, and their coordinated measurement machine that measures all dimensions like height, width, depth, and the locations of the holes and other critical points. This is a test of the accuracy of everything, and the unit assembly tray, where they test the sealed system by using helium and nitrogen to make sure that there are no leaks. Sub-Zero is the standard for luxury refrigeration. If you're planning a kitchen upgrade, these details really matter. If you're in the Bay Area, stop by Atherton Appliance Kitchens or BSC Culinary in San Francisco. We have multiple Sub-Zero displays so you can see and feel the difference yourself. If this was helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button for more straightforward breakdowns of high-end appliances. Thanks for watching.